welcome back to another episode of Sake Drinker and Friends. We're here in the middle of Napa Valley, very near harvest, some Chardonnay grapes. We're very lucky, Stuart and I we're famous guests today to live very near
We're all
here.
famous, thank you though.
Very famous. But on that note, if you didn't know Stuart Morris, I think you've been living under a rock. He has been a huge force personally and for a lot of people on a daily basis to fall in love with sake. Something really cool that Stuart's been doing is he's been making sake, and that's one of our ideas to get together today and taste what he's produced.
Absolutely.
This vintage. So Stuart, it's all yours.
Awesome. So this is so I work at a brewery called Shindo Shuzo in Yamagata. So Yamagata is kind of north Sea of Japan side. This is my third batch of making sake for them, and this year was actually a little bit more difficult year than last year. Definitely different. My sake is definitely different than it was last year. I make a daigincho with omachi rice, some more elegant in style, omachi rice from Okayama. But this year there wasn't as much rain in Japan, so the rice was definitely harder. It wasn't as much starch, so it was a little harder to get pull a lot more flavors out of it. And definitely made for a cleaner, kind of drier style. I had to watch the temperature quite a lot just to make sure we kind of ended up with this clean style to it, which I'm very happy with, to be honest.
It's quite remarkably different than other vintages I've had from yours, just in the last few years that you've been producing it. And I think it's a great point. It touches on white. A lot of people ask, is there a true vintage variation and terroir in sake? And this is a true example when you're making it from the ground up with your hands.
Absolutely. It changes from year to year for sure. Yeah. I mean, not a huge amount. The brewer obviously has a lot more control over the sake as opposed to a winemaker and that kind of thing. The rice does change from year to year, but not as much as, let's say, a grape that have sugar content and things like that. But there is definitely a change from year to year, and in particular, like I said, this year there wasn't much rain, so the rice is really hard. So koju is very hard this year to pull out flavors to get the glucose out of the sake. It was also very hard this year. And our sakes, all our sakes from Shindo Shuzo are a little bit leaner in style this year and a little bit cleaner in style because of that.
Nice. And speaking of Shindo Shuzo, he's visiting.
He is, yeah.
And there's an event or two.
Yeah, we're gonna do dinner at Pabu on the 20th.
Excellent.
With Shindo-san,
September 20th, that is.
Yeah.
If you're watching this before then,
please
sure you
come.
put yourself
Yeah,
in there.
absolutely. Yeah, he's gonna be there. He's gonna talk about his sake. He's great. If you haven't met him, he's an amazing guy.
I'm a huge fan. Last year, actually, Stuart connected us, and I had the pleasure of helping him out at the Sake Day and pouring his sakes. And if I wasn't a huge fan before, I mean, talk about it now.
Right?
Big fan.
His sakes are so good, but also he's just a great guy. He's just fun to be around. He's funny. He's a great guy.
Yeah, and he travels the world all the time.
He really does.
Promoting his sake. Something I like always about his style, that this one has the stamp still, is that it's very friendly. If you've never had sake before, or if you have friends that never had sake before, you just put this in the fridge, greet them with it, and just watch their head explode.
Absolutely. He really tries to make, his goal is to really make food-friendly sake, but also sake that's very approachable for everybody. And being from Yamagata, a lot of Yamagata style sakes tend to have that kind of fruit tones to them, which he really exemplifies, I think, very well.
Totally. I had the pleasure of being in Yamagata for the first time this year and seeing a little bit of the culture and style at the high altitude, and it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Definitely a unique part of the sake producing area. Also, Japan's first and only, or first GI.
GI, yeah.
Recognized in the world for sake production.
So Shindo-san grows about, I think it's around, don't quote me on this, but I think it's about 50% of the rice he uses, he grows himself. Wow. He has Dewa Sansan fields that he uses all his own Dewa Sansan. Yeah. So if you see the Gasanyu label, there's an Ura character on the top part. That means that he bought the rice. It's the other side of Gasanyu. But if it doesn't have that Ura, it means that he owns it,
like a state grown.
Exactly.
Which is pretty unique for
not too common at all.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a little sip more before we cheer, because this is delicious. And thank you.
Absolutely.
We do this every day. You have to practice. Thank you. And I want to say cheers to you, Stuart, for making amazing sake.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
And I hope everybody gets to taste it soon. Cheers.